I'm Rachel Moore. I'm with Colorado After School Partnership, and I am so thrilled to share Dani Wesolowski today. She is also of Colorado. She is going to share her amazing program that is tailored specifically to the local community she's in and the school district scheduling. It's Family Fridays, a bilingual STEM programming for adults and youth. So take it away, Dani. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rachel. Welcome everyone to this presentation. We're going to be covering Family Fridays, a bilingual STEM program for adults and youth. My name is Dani Wesolowski, and I am a 4-H youth development and after-school enrichment specialist for Garfield County. Today, we're going to kind of go over what Extension is, what AmeriCorps is, what this program is, and how we include STEM within our programming for both adults and youth. So let's go ahead and dive in. So just a little bit about myself. I am a native Coloradan, very proud of that. I grew up in Parker, Colorado, which is about 20 minutes south of Denver. I had no knowledge about agriculture or really anything within Extension. I just fell in love with outdoors and kind of decided to pursue a degree in agriculture just because I love animals, I love cropping systems. Everything about agricultural Extension is just me. At CSU, I ended up getting 5 degrees there over the course of 7 years. My last one was my master's in agricultural extension, and that's kind of what led me into Garfield County. So for the past 8 years or so, I've been working on the Front Range from Parker all the way up to Fort Collins. And within the last 3 years, I've been focusing my attention on the Western region. So Garfield County basically spans from Glenwood Springs all the way up to DeBeck. 80% of our population up here is Hispanic. And that kind of drew in a lot of the reasoning why we created this program is that we wanted to hit our Hispanic population, as well as, you know, providing programming for both adults and youth. So most of you guys probably know what Extension is, but we'll just go over it really quick. Extension is a part of land-grant universities. So for Colorado, that's going to be Colorado State University. Extension offices are located in almost every county. These offices are run by university employees, that'd be me, and volunteers who are experts in 4-H, local crops, landscaping, soil, gardening, pests, and so much more, from embryology to entomology, fishing to alpacas. We kind of do it all. And then almost every single county in the US has an extension office, and those offices are supported by land-grant universities. If you guys do not know who your extension agents are for your local county, we will provide you a link to the national 4-H site later in the day where you guys can go ahead and reach out to your own extension agents, or you can get a hold of myself and I'm happy to link you with them as well. The whole purpose of Colorado State University Extension is to empower Coloradans and address relevant community issues using dynamic and science-based educational resources. And that's our primary focus within Family Fridays. When I look at Extension, I kind of look at it as an extended hand of the university, where our goal is to help our community with pretty much whatever they need. We're just the go-to resource. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about AmeriCorps. So some of you guys might have AmeriCorps within your counties. Garfield County hosts 3 AmeriCorps members, which AmeriCorps is a federal agency that brings people together to tackle the country's most pressing challenges through national service and volunteering. So the members that we have serve 900 hours over the course of a year. They receive a living allowance and a educational award at the end so that they can pursue their further degrees or more educational knowledge through different universities, etc. The goals of AmeriCorps for our county are to support the STEM programming taking place. So both of our AmeriCorps members are teachers in our county that decided to join us and do after school programming. And they are a big part of our bilingual Family Fridays. So we bring in our AmeriCorps members, Colorado Mountain College, and then our staff to make this program happen. Within AmeriCorps as well, their goals are to help to develop community partnerships by providing a valuable service. And for this example, Family Fridays is that. And then another big part of AmeriCorps is that we try to do low cost but easily accessible resources. So later in this presentation, we'll go through the 52-week program, which is basically 52 weeks of STEM challenges in one book, one website that it's a one-pager, and then also it has basic supplies and resources in it, which keeps it affordable for families, and it makes it easily accessible to them as well. All right, so in Garfield County, our main programs that we provide, we just finished doing our free seed program. We hit about 300 families where we provide them with a variety seed packages to plant for this year. We're just getting started in our entomology program, which we partner with insect lore to provide teachers and homeschool families with entomology kits that can be ladybugs, caterpillars, praying mantises, ant farms, all the critters. We also provide embryology, where kids can go ahead and study incubators of chicken eggs and watch them from start to finish. And then we usually take those chickens and donate them to the public. Some other courses that we teach are summer survival skills and winter survival skills. So for summer survival skills, we go outside, we show them how to build shelters, do fires, how to leave no trace, all those fun things. And then winter survival is kind of the opposite of that. We take them out and go snowshoeing and skiing and do winter huts and all those fun things. And then we also do a kids free fishing clinic. We usually host 2 or 3 of those every year. We partner with Colorado Parks and Wildlife, where they will come out with a trailer and they'll teach up to 100 kids at a time and teach them how to, set up their fishing poles, how to fish safely and responsibly. And then they will actually spend the day fishing with the kids, and then the kids get to take their own fishing poles home. Next, we do the Meal Monkey program, which is a big part of Family Fridays as well. It's kind of how we all got started with Family Fridays. Is we decided to create these one-page activities, which you guys will get to practice here in a little bit, and with a very short list of resources and supplies that these students need to use. And that goes with their weekly meals for free and reduced lunches, and that goes out to families. We serve about 300 a month. And with Family Fridays, we kind of took that program of the one-pagers and brought that in because we just kind of wanted to foster more Hispanic education. Some other courses that we teach are orienteering. Archery is a huge deal here. We have shooting sports, obviously, within 4-H, but we decided to take it and turn it into more of an after-school program. So we will teach archery for about 6 to 8 weeks a year at 3 to 4 different schools. And by the way, your extension offices locally, they also have these resources to provide archery or orienteering or embryology, etc. So any of these programs that I just mentioned that seem of interest to you, definitely reach out and we can bring those programs to your school. Continuing on, we also teach veterinary science. That's a huge program here, everything from swine to cattle to horses. And then Family Fridays, which is clearly what we're going to be talking about here in just a minute, a little bit more in depth. And then lastly, we provide access after school STEM programming at 2 different middle schools within our county. And that runs a couple days a week for about 2 hours. We have groups of 15 to 20 kids, and we pretty much do all the following from seed programs to entomology to embryology all in one. So let's go ahead and take a look at Family Fridays more in depth. So this is a program that we do provide in English and Spanish for both youth and adults. Kids and their parents are separated into 2 different groups where parents are there to learn about, English literacy or getting their HSE or GED programs. And we provide them instructors to assist them with their homework or whatever activities that they need help with. As for the kids, that's kind of what Extension specializes in. So we provide the STEM programming for them in correlation with their parents going and doing their own classes for English or Spanish assistance. So within our STEM programming, we wanted to create a literacy outreach program for families where parents receive the support that they want and resources to help their children with school and reading achievement. So we bring in children who are in 2nd to 6th grade. Sometimes we have some pre-K kids, which is always fun. But we basically provide them with group and individual support with reading through fun activities and new materials. And it's not just reading. We do everything from reading to coding to engineering, STEM. So, and then our STEM activities are provided for ages 6 and older. That's just kind of when they begin to receive that information more in an applicable way. As for the younger kids, we do provide a pre-K program where it's mostly just fun outdoor stuff. They get to catch bugs and do research assignments on that, where they basically just look at stuff under a microscope, get to dissect things and get their hands dirty. So let's keep on going with this guy. So incorporating STEM into Family Fridays. I think it's well known that the benefits of STEM, promoting equality in education, fostering creativity, teaching collaboration, and integrating multiple disciplines. We really try to show real world applications and use hands-on learning to teach these kids. And that way we're developing their critical thinking and encouraging their independent exploration of whatever subject we are teaching. STEM is also very good for building resilience and sparking interest in future careers. It's amazing how many kids we have coming out of our Family Friday programs are like, oh, I want to be a scientist. I want to be an engineer. And we really just want to promote and do whatever we can to foster that within them. So this is where the 52-week program kind of comes into play with our Family Fridays. So we basically merge these two programs in order to make Family Fridays. So with COVID in 2020, that pandemic brought several challenges for Extension and the communities that we serve. The group that felt that isolation the most in our county were youth. They were basically, during COVID, they had no school. This past year, they went to 4-day-a-week programming. So we kind of wanted to provide this 5th-day programming for them so their parents could have, work time, and then the students would also continue their learning. So we wanted to provide educational resources through our Meal Monkey program that would allow students to engage in STEM while out of school. So everything that we do teach in Family Fridays, we also provide those kids with kits to take home and redo those experiments or to show their parents and practice and do more. Thus the 52-week program was born when we created 52 weeks of 1-pagers that had simplified instructions, good facts, and a limited resource / supply list that was required. And STEM in a Bag was also done in Spanish. So STEM in a Bag, STEM una bolsa. It provides a fun way for STEM educational activities for youth and their families. It was brought together through our AmeriCorps members, our 3 school districts, our extension office, and then 2 other partners, River Center and Lift Up organizations, which both provide meals to those students who are under-resourced. We also work with our local youth and families to see what the kind of programming they want so that we can incorporate that in what we're teaching. And what we have found in our county is that parents and families really want us to focus on outdoor education. So this year within Bilingual Family Fridays, we have focused it solely on outdoor education. So everything from Leave No Trace to Get Outdoors Colorado to just pretty much anything outdoors. So we just started our entomology program with our kids there. So they'll be raising these bugs and then they'll be taking them outdoors, and then that will progress into planting garden beds and then pollinators, etc. So we really just try to build on top of our programming and continue it on. So you guys should have this printout. It's called the Cesar Chavez Secret Coding Activity. And this is an example of the meal monkeys that we have. So you can see that it's both in English and Spanish. The what you need section is very brief. All you need is this worksheet and a pencil, which I hope you all have. What you're going to do with this activity is you're going to solve the code. So using the code below, solve each of the problems to figure out the phrase. I think we've all done this at a point or two. And then we also provide facts about Cesar Chavez to kind of tie in the worksheet to what we're actually trying to teach students. So not only just coding and mathematics, but also about the history of Cesar Chavez. So we're going to go ahead and do breakout sessions here. And in those groups, you're going to be in groups of 3 to 4. I would like you guys to introduce yourselves to the group, your name, your position, and why you decided to participate in this conference. Then as a group, I'd also like you to complete this activity. We'll share what the secret code is. And then I kind of want you guys to brainstorm about what benefits are there to students who utilize this activity outside of coding and mathematics. I want you to think outside of the box. And then answer these other two following questions. How can you use these types of resources in your classroom? And I would like you guys to share with one another some activities that you think could be turned into 1-pagers yourselves. So Jason, if it's good with you, we can go ahead and go into breakout sessions. And you guys will have about 10 minutes. There will be a timer at the top of your screen. And we should be good to go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. A couple of our groups were taking a little bit longer than expected. So we're actually going to break you guys back out into breakout rooms to give you guys a couple more minutes to finish up the rest of the questions. And for all of you newcomers, we also are going to put you guys into breakout sessions, and the rest of the groups can discuss with you guys what we're doing. And you guys, yeah, about 5-10 more minutes to go ahead and do that. Jason, if you're ready, we can go ahead and do that. Welcome back, everyone. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do kind of a group share. So if one person from each of your guys' group could volunteer to answer these questions. So I would just like to know, what is the secret code? What benefits did you guys find for students who want to utilize this activity? How can you use these resources in your own classroom? And then share some activities that you think could be turned into one-pagers that you guys discussed in your groups. And Sam, I am going to pick on you and choose you to share first.
Sounds good. So the secret code we got was Cesar Chavez, forgive me if I'm not saying his name correctly, Cesar Chavez harvested change. And then we talked a bit about how this really encapsulates, it really checks all the boxes for STEM. But what I really liked about it was that it also connects to other disciplines as well, like history, for instance, and depending on the audience who's attending your event or in your classroom, I think it's a really rich opportunity to, and I want to be clear, I'm talking for Sam, I'm not speaking on behalf of CDE necessarily, but from Sam's perspective, I think that leveraging like labor, it can be a really amazing asset-based approach depending on, again, the audience. It gives students and caregivers, humans, an opportunity to think about why these initiatives, why this work is important, and gives people a chance to think about how it fits into their own lived experience. And think about their own identities and, opportunities for things like storytelling, which, as we mentioned, can be a really rich experience in helping humans to build learning and internalize learning. So I think this is great.
And Sam, do you have any activities that you thought of that could be turned into these one-pager meal monkey kind of things?
I like the mathematical basis of it. I'm wondering, like, what I'm thinking about is if there's any ways to also, and again, like, I'm not in a classroom anymore, so forgive me, there may be other folks that have better ideas, but we come up with the best things when we collaborate. I'm wondering if there's also opportunities to maybe even flip it around a little bit. So maybe the code, it would probably increase complexity a bit, but maybe the code that, like with the alphabet, is given more with the math, and then at the bottom, students are I don't know, like using like letters or other symbols that would increase the complexity. I also think that there's opportunities to maybe incorporate a different human being that's done really amazing work. In Colorado, we honor Cesar Chavez with a holiday. And so maybe there's other, humans from history, for instance, that could also be centered in an activity like this. Yeah. I'm not sure.
That's kind of the cool part, right? Is like this activity was focused mainly on Cesar Chavez and, his role in agriculture and immigration, but it could totally be applicable to any other person. You could do George Washington, you could do anybody that you wanted to. And like you were saying, it does pull in all these different pieces of, your STEM stuff, but also history. And I love your ideas on how to, make it a little bit more complex for older grade levels and stuff. And that's really what I do love about this program within the 52 weeks of STEM is like, yeah, it does look kind of basic to start, but there are always ways to change it and to make it more challenging for whatever age group that you find appropriate at that time. Thank you so much for sharing, Sam. Is there anyone from group 1 who would like to share? I'm going to start calling out names. Nope. Okay. Well, how about group 3? All right. Well, Kristen, I see you on my screen. Is there anything that you would like to share? No?
I just joined the session, so I apologize.
No worries. Okay. How about Mackenzie or Rebecca? Do either of you guys have anything to share? No. Okay.
I know Rebecca's mic is not working, but I can help with what we were talking about a bit. So we were talking about different models of after school and how we all work with different populations and have different niches, and how this could be flexible and adaptable to really showcase role models within the population that is being served. So if you have men of color, for instance, such as with Sims Fayula Foundation, you could have a STEM role model that showcases that population. If you are working with all girls, you could have a STEM female role model in that as well. So it's a great way to honor and show students and youth that if they can see it, they can be it. So you can put that role model on that highlights that population you serve.
I love that. If you can say that one more time for me, Rachel. If you can see it, you can
If
be
you
it.
can see it, you can be it. So if they can
Love
see
that.
themselves in that profession, then they're more likely to know that they can pursue it and find pathways to get to that profession.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to use that as my new motto. All righty, let's continue on. So we are going to go back into a brief breakout session for number 2. In this group, I want you guys to discuss what kind of resources you guys use for your programming and teaching in your current position. This can be state, this can be local, whatever works. And if you're like Sam and are no longer in the classroom, maybe share some things that you would have used if you were still in the classroom. I would also like to know, what resources are you guys lacking, or what are you in search for that we could help provide for you guys? And then lastly, I would like you guys to discuss, how can you provide extended education to students and their families? That could be, a Family Friday bilingual camp like we're doing, or a summer STEM camp, or however you see it. I would just like to hear your guys' ideas. So we're going to break out into groups of 3 and 4 again. Go ahead and discuss these questions. I'm going to give you guys a brief second just to write these questions down in case you can't see them in your actual groups. And then we'll do, Jason, let's do about 8 minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone. So we're going to do a group share really quick. Let's go ahead and start with group 1. Kristen or Maddie, would you like to share?
Yeah, I can go ahead and share. We spend most of our time talking about like support staff. And so one of my things that I was talking about is, as someone who manages staff, how do I encourage my staff to also be knowledgeable in the things that they're talking to the kids about, so that they are able to portray that message in a way that the kids will understand, but also in the same breath being open to not knowing the answers and learning together with the kids, teaching the kids we're all human, no one knows everything. So I don't know the answer to that, but we're going to find the answer together.
Sounds good, Maddie. I think where it really starts for a lot of educators is kind of that getting that motivation to learn. For me, at least, it came through active learning. So when I came into Extension, I really did not have any experience with robotics or rocketry or anything like that. And honestly, I was pretty hesitant to get involved with it because I was like, I don't know anything about this, and how am I going to teach this to a whole group of kids? But I found that just by getting in it and actually learning with the kids, I fostered my knowledge and my desire to keep on growing and learning about those things, because the kids had such a great interest in it. It was just a huge motivator for me. So I think maybe connecting kids with your faculty and giving them the room to, experiment and try things out to learn, I think that's always a great place to start. All right, let's do room 2. Who would like to share from our group? Well, I think Sam just put into the chat. She said, modeling the community-based collaborative nature of STEM is so important. We figure it out together, just like real science. And that is so very true. I totally agree. It's always collaboration. Okay, well, that was room 2. Let's see, from room 3, does Kimberly or Jason or Maddie want to share? Okay, well, I will leave it up to the group then to, I would love to hear from you guys what resources you guys would like and are looking for your programming. So I can maybe link you guys up with certain types of programming. So if anybody wants to just hop on and kind of share what they're looking for, I'd be happy to take notes. I'll give you guys like 10 seconds to volunteer. Okay, all right, moving on then. So last, I just want to provide you guys with the resources that I use and then with my own personal information as well. So a few websites that I use that are free resources are listed on the right. I do enjoy Teachers Pay Teachers. Unfortunately, some of their material does have a cost to it, but majority of what they have are free, especially your printables and stuff like that. Student Powered Family is also a great resource just to get ideas for making one-pagers or simple activities for youth that, you know, are just kind of, you got to think on the spot. Another great resource is acceleratedlearning.com. They have a lot of virtual modules that you can also use to teach if you're kind of going and teaching virtually. Three Ducks Design. If you guys are interested in engineering and having kids, you know, just build and create, this is a wonderful, wonderful website for that. They do offer kits on there that do come at a cost, but you can apply for their scholarship or grant program through them to where you can get these kits for free. We do have some located in our office as well currently that I'm willing to ship out. So if you guys would like those resources, please email me. I'm happy to cover all the mailing charges and etc. Lastly, you have the Garfield Extension website. That's where you can find my information and everything that we do programmatically within our county. And then the extension.colorado.state.edu is the general extension website for Colorado State, where you can find all of our extension agents, all of the programs, and all of our free resources. They're all in one hub. And as always, if you have any questions or want specific materials or programs that are tailored to you, I create and design programs on a daily basis. So I'm happy to create one for you. Just shoot me an email and I'm happy to meet with you. I'm going to give you guys like another 5-10 seconds to write down these resources if you'd like, and then I will take any questions. And I also believe Rachel posted the national extension website on there as well. So, oh, perfect. It's in the chat. So that's also your universal extension source. So if you're in, let's say, Illinois or California or whatnot, that site will provide you with all of your county extension agents that Colorado might not know of. All righty. I'm going to leave it up to questions. Does anyone have questions for me? No?
I have a question, Dani.
Okay.
What was the inspiration to start Family Fridays? Was it the brainchild of the school district? Was it 4-H? Was it all of you coming together? And
it was all of us coming together. So
yeah.
We're partnered with Colorado Mountain College, AmeriCorps, and then ourselves. And then we also kind of reach out to Colorado Parks and Wildlife and then the National Forest Service to bring in specialized programming. It really kind of came from the need for having bilingual programming for both parents and adults. So providing that childcare while the parents still have the need to learn. And so CMC approached us asking for a program that was, you know, fitting of that. And we that's where we decided to merge in the Meal Monkey one-pagers to the Family Fridays. And then we expanded that into youth and adult education.
And can I ask who funds it? If somebody wanted to start a program like this and they were wondering to themselves, how can I get this funded? Do you have any inspiration for them on where to start?
So yeah, first off, Family Fridays. So we do these programs about 8 to 10 weeks at a time, those segments, and we have about 20 students at a time. And I will tell you, our budget for each of those classes, 20 students over 8 to 10 weeks, it's only $100 at most, because all these activities that we do are simple things like, do you have Q-tips? Do you have paint? Do you have cardboard? Do you have recyclable materials? Like, perfect, then you can make it happen. And as far as cost and who covers that with our program, basically we have a bunch of grants that we write to, which if you guys want to reach out to me, I have a whole grants list that you can apply for and mini grants lists that go from anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 and up. But we cover the cost of supplies. They provide the space, and then they also provide the teachers for the adults, and we provide the teachers for the youth. So that cost of $100 every 10 weeks, usually extension does cover it. And if you reach out to your local extension offices, they're typically happy to provide you with that funding and assistance in that programming.
And every county in the US has an extension.
Yes,
For-
I mean, unless you're technically a mini town, for example, Pickens County in Colorado doesn't have an extension office, but it's backed by Garfield County
Okay.
and Eagle County, which are on either side of it. So that's why it's covered. But yes, figuratively for every county, there is an extension agent.
Thank you.
Can you
And,
put your email back in the chat again? I'm not able to see it,
Yeah,
please.
let me do that really quick.
and then Kim also has a question in the chat.
Okay, I put the email in there. Is the 52-week 7-bag PDF available on the Google Drive? Rachel, I don't think we put the 7-bag PDF.
No,
did we?
you'd have to go to the Garfield County for each site, correct?
Yes, and
Yep.
if you would like a hard copy of it, just email me and I will mail one out to you. And also if you think it's easier just to email me to get the digital version as well, I'm happy to send that over that way too. Anybody have any other questions?
I have a question that's might not be beneficial for the group, but Dani, have you been in touch with Robert from like the extended day programs at CDE?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
so I'm just later today, I'm gonna send an email and because like I'm science, he's like the programs that are outside the school day. And so I thought connecting you might make sense. if
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. I'm always
Okay.
happy to make new friends and new partners.
okay. Awesome. Thank you for doing this. It's great.
Of course. Well, that is all I have for you guys. Rachel, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just a huge thank you so much, Dani, for sharing the program model that I know you poured your heart into. The resources, such as the slides and that Cesar Chavez worksheet in English and Spanish are on the Google Drive link that I sent under the Family Fridays folder. We will have a closing plenary, a panel on creative STEM programming shortly. So please join that. We'll also have another representative from Colorado on that panel as well. And let's see, in the break, you can go to the exhibit hall. You'll see the Power of Us booth. They're doing a $50 gift card giveaway, 3 of them, if you complete that survey they have on what it's like to be an OST. And also if you go to the Mise en Weimont conference link and you sign up for a free resource or account, they are also doing a free giveaway, 7 $50 gift cards. So I'll pop that in the link for you so you have lots to do on your break. Any final words, Dani? We really appreciate you joining us.
Just thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate all of you guys as educators, and please reach out if you have any questions or need anything from me.